Prabhupada left for USA. And we all know that rest is history. So I will be briefly discussing about his treacherous journey which he undertook at the age of 70 by a cargo ship named Jaladuta. Then in that I will discuss about the impediments, the trouble during journey, seasickness, he fell sick, he suffered 2 heart attacks, and then Krishna's mercy in difficulties, and then I will also touch upon the achievements. Yesterday was Balaram Purnima. So in the second part of my presentation I will discuss about Balaram, Lord Balaram also. So now in this Prabhupada leaves for USA. We will discuss about mood and mission, journey by Jaladut, his belongings, struggle during journey, Krishna's mercy in difficulties, Marikine Bhagavad Dharma, the Bengali poem which he wrote on the Commonwealth Fire at Boston, and then rest is history. We'll talk about his achievements. Now mood and mission. The mood of Srila Prabhupada was of deep determination and humble dependence on Krishna's mercy. And the mission was to introduce the timeless wisdom of Krishna consciousness based on the Vedic scriptures to the Western world. That was the order given to him by his spiritual master, Prabhupada Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Maharaj. Now, journey by Jaladuta. I got some photographs from internet. This is his passport. Then this is the ticket of that Jaladuta ship. And there is a photo of Jaladuta also. See, when Prabhupada was in Vrindavan, he used to tell to people that I want to go to USA. Then he met one Mathura businessman named Agrawal, who arranged sponsorship from his son, who was there in Butler, Pennsylvania. So one fine morning, Prabhupada received NOC from Ministry of External Affairs. He didn't know what it is. Then later on he realized that Mr. Gopal has agreed to bear all his expenses while he is in USA. Now after NOC, the next was passport, P-form, visa and travel fare. Passport and visa we all know, but during those days, I think it continued right up to 1978. The forex was very tightly controlled by Reserve Bank of India. So if you want to go abroad, you need to take P-form from RBI. So all these things were arranged, passport, P-form, visa. Now question was, what about travel? So Prabhupada knew Mrs. Sumati Morarji, who was head of Skindia steamship line. Previously also, Mrs. Morarji had given a large donation to Prabhupada so that he could publish his second volume of Srimad Bhagavatam. So he went to Bombay, he met his secretary, Mr. Choksi, and told him that I want to go to USA, please arrange for me, in cargo ship, please arrange for that. So Mr. Choksi went to Mrs. Morarji. So at the outset she refused. She said he is very old, he will not be able to survive the ship journey. So instead of that, just request him to stay here only and complete his Srimad Bhagavatam. But Prabhupada was bent upon going. So when he realized that through the secretary nothing is going to happen, so he arranged a personal meeting with Mrs. Morarji, and then he convinced her, and she agreed. Reluctantly she agreed that okay, you go. Then Mr. Choksi arranged for warm clothes, and his journey it was decided that he will go by Jaladuta. It was a cargo ship with a passenger cabin, and it was a complimentary ticket with food. Jaladuta, the cargo ship of Skindia Steam Navigation Company, The cabin was occupied, it was written on the cabin that the cabin is occupied by Sri Abhay Charanarvinda Bhakti Vedanta Swami, whose age was listed as 69 and who was taken on board bearing a complimentary ticket with food. And this ship was under the command of Captain Arun Pandya. Now we talk about his belongings, what he took in journey. He had 40 rupees, which in any case were of no use in USA. Suitcase, umbrella, supply of dry cereals. He didn't know what he will get to eat there. So he thought that with cereals and boiled potato, I will pull on. He had a Bengali copy of Chaitanya Charitamrit, and he has several trunks of his books, 203 volume sets, which were loaded at Kochi. Now, struggle during journey. The ship left on 13th of August 1965 at 9 am. Prabhupada wrote in his diary, and I am reading verbatim, the cabin is quite comfortable. Thanks to Lord Sri Krishna for enlightening Sumati Morarji for all these arrangements. I am quite comfortable. But then on 14th, seasickness, dizziness, vomiting, Bay of Bengal, if the ship was going through Bay of Bengal, heavy rains, more sickness. On 19th, the ship landed at Colombo, Ceylon. That time Sri Lanka was known as Ceylon. So the captain took Prabhupada offshore and they travelled in the car. So Ceylon or Sri Lanka was the first country outside of India where Srila Prabhupada placed his lotus feet. Then on 20th August, it was Jalmashtami. Prabhupada preached to the crew, cooked prasadam. On 21st of August was his 70th birthday, which was not, there was no ceremony in that. Ship arrives in Kochi and all his trunks of Srimad Bhagavatam volumes were loaded. On 23rd, the ship sails in Red Sea, and that time Prabhupada was very great difficulties. Rain, sickness, dizziness, headache, no appetite, vomiting. He suffered 2 heart attacks. In fact, Prabhupada said, he wrote in his diary that if I had to have one more of this, I will not survive. But then Krishna's mercy and difficulties. On the night of second day in dream, Prabhupada saw Lord Krishna in various forms rowing boat. In a way, he was assuring him, don't worry, I am there with you. You continue. On 1st of September, the ship sailed in Suez Canal, and on 2nd, they landed at Port Said. Now he visited the city along with the captain. So Egypt was the second country outside of India where Srila Prabhupada placed his lotus feet. On 6th, he recovered a little from illness. He cooked khichdi and puris. On 9th, the ship comes in Atlantic Ocean, and on 10th of September, in diary, Srila Prabhupada wrote, today the ship is flying very smoothly. I feel today better. But I am feeling separation from Sri Vrindavan and my lords, Sri Govinda Gopinath, Radha Damodar. My only solace is Sri Chaitanya Charitamrit, in which I am testing the nectar of Lord Chaitanya's Leela. I have left Bharat Bhumi just to execute the order of Sri Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati in pursuance of Lord Chaitanya's order. I have no qualification, but have taken up the risk just to carry out the order of His Divine Grace. I depend fully on their mercy, so far away from Vrindavan. On 13th September, Prabhupada noted in his diary, 32nd day of journey, cooked bati khichdi. It appeared to be the delicious, so I was able to take some food. Today I have disclosed my mind to my companion Lord Sri Krishna. There is a Bengali poem made by me in this connection. This poem was a prayer to Lord Krishna, and it is filled with Prabhupada's devotional confidence in the mission that he had undertaken on behalf of his spiritual master. An English translation of the opening stanzas, I am reading it. I emphatically say to you, O brothers, you will obtain your good fortune from the Supreme Lord Krishna only when Srimati Radharani becomes pleased with you. This is what Srila Prabhupada wrote in his diary. Srimad Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, who is very dear to Lord Gauranga, Lord Chaitanya, the son of Mother Sachi, is unparalleled in his service to the Supreme Lord Shri Krishna. He is that great saintly spiritual master who bestows intense devotion to Krishna at different places throughout the world. By his strong desire, the holy name of the Lord Gaurang will spread throughout all the countries of the Western world, in all the cities, towns and villages on the earth. From all oceans, seas, rivers and streams, everyone will chant the holy name of Krishna. As the vast mercy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu conquers all directions, a flood of transcendental ecstasy will certainly cover the land. When all the sinful, miserable living entities become happy, the Vaishnava's desire is then fulfilled. Although my Guru Maharaj ordered me to accomplish this mission, I am not worthy or fit to do it. I am very fallen and insignificant. Therefore, O Lord, now I am begging for your mercy so that I may become worthy, for you are the wisest and most experienced of all. The poem ends, today that remembrance of you came to me in a very nice way. Because I have a great longing, I called you. I am your eternal servant, and therefore I desire your association so much. O Lord Krishna, except for you, there is no means of success. It was comment of Captain Pandya that he has never seen such a calm Atlantic crossing in his whole life. Srila Prabhupada told him that it's a Krishna's mercy. On 17th September at 5:30 a.m., the ship landed in Boston. After custom and immigration, he was granted 2 months stay in USA, and he walked in Boston with captain. He saw there that this population is though very affluent. He was coming from India at that time. It is very affluent as compared to India, but people are covered in the mode of passion and goodness, ignorance. So he didn't know how I will teach him. So on that Boston Commonwealth Pier, he composed a poem, Markin Bhagavad Dharm. And on 19th of September, he landed in New York. When he came to New York, his dress was simple cotton dhoti, jap mala, an old chadar or shawl, kanthi mala, shaven head except shikha and Vaishnav tilak, and with white slippers. Now I will discuss about the poem which he wrote. There are 3 aspects of the poem which have a great impact. First is the humility. My dear Lord Krishna, you are so kind on this useless soul. I do not know why you brought me here. Now you can do whatever you like with me. How I will make them understand this message of Krishna consciousness? I am very unfortunate, unqualified, and the most fallen. Therefore, I am seeking your benediction so that I can convince them, for I am powerless to do so on my own. Then second aspect is Sharanagati. O Lord, I am just like a puppet in your hand. So if you have brought me here to dance, then please make me dance, make me dance. O Lord, make me dance as you like. The third aspect is the firm faith in Krishna. Prabhupada writes in that poem But I know that your causeless mercy can make everything possible, because you are the most expert mystic. All living entities have come under the control of the illusory energy by your will, and therefore, if you like, by your will, they can also be released from the clutches of illusion. O spiritual master of all words, I can simply repeat your message. So, if you like, you can make my power of speaking suitable for their understanding. Only by your causeless mercy will my words become pure. I am sure that when the transcendental message penetrates their hearts, they will certainly feel gladdened and thus will become liberated from all unhappy conditions of life. Signed, the most unfortunate, insignificant beggar, A.C. Bhaktivedant Swami, on board the ship Jaladuta, Commonwealth Pier, Boston, Massachusetts, USA, dated 18 September 1965. This poem is very big. I have only reproduced few things under three different aspects, and I hope that I should be able to incorporate, though it is very easy to say but hard to do, whatever learning I have got from this in my life. Now we'll talk about his achievements. He circled the globe 14 times after the age of 70. Authored and published over 80 books in just 11 years. Established 108 temples worldwide. Now the number of temples has increased manifold. Sparked a global cultural and spiritual revolution known as ISKCON. Introduced the Hare Krishna Mahamantra to the world stage. Built a global family of disciples in just one decade. Founded Gurukuls and Vedic education system. Started the world's largest vegetarian food relief program. It was said by Srila Prabhupada that within 10 miles of my temple, nobody should go hungry. Revived the ancient bhakti movement for modern times and changed the hearts of people from every background. Please remember, this whole thing was achieved in just one decade. You can see the humility, the surrender and the firm faith which he had on Krishna. These are some things which we can incorporate in our life, and this is the next week is Jalmashtami. So I, at least for one, hope to learn this and serve the devotees in this consciousness what Prabhupada has written in his poem. Now the second part of presentation is about Lord Balaram. Yesterday was Balaram Purnima. So we'll discuss who is Lord Balaram, Lord Balaram's appearance. Lord Balaram serves Krishna in all 5 rasas. Anarthas represent the demons killed by Lord Balaram, Guru Tattva, and then briefly we'll discuss about Lord Nityanand, who is the most merciful incarnation of Balaram. Lord Balaram is the first expansion of Lord Krishna, Prakash Vigraha. Prakash Vigraha means that the Lord Balaram appears in a mood and complexion different from that of Lord Krishna. Lord Balaram's complexion is compared to that of a white spring cloud, and he manifests the mood of servitude. In Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 14, verse 28, in the purport, Srila Prabhupada writes, Sri Ram or Balaram is the protector of the devotees of the Lord. Baldev acts as the spiritual master of all devotees, and by his causeless mercy, the fallen souls are delivered. Sri Baldev appeared as Sri Nityananda Prabhu during the advent of Lord Chaitanya, and the great Lord Nityananda Prabhu exhibited his causeless mercy by delivering a pair of extremely fallen souls, namely Jagai and Madhai. Therefore, it is particularly mentioned herein that Balaram is the protector of the devotees of the Lord. By his divine grace only one can approach the Supreme Lord Shri Krishna, and thus Shri Balaram is the mercy incarnation of the Lord, manifested as the spiritual master, the savior of the pure devotees. Now this is a chart of all expansions of Lord Krishna. You can see that Lord Balaram is the first expansion. From him then there are quadruple expansion, second quadruple expansion, and as Sankarshan, he is the cause of all creation. In the form of Karnodakshai Vishnu, then Garbhodakshai Vishnu, and then Kshirodakshai Vishnu. Then Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva, they also come from Garbhodakshai Vishnu only. So Lord Balaram is the first expansion. Through him the whole creation becomes manifest. The Supreme Lord, although one without a second, expands himself as many other living beings. The Vishnu Tattva's living beings are expansions of Supreme Lord, and all of them are quantitatively and qualitatively equal with the Lord. Everything that exists in the whole creation is expansion of Lord Krishna. Vishnu Tattva, Shakti Tattva. Shakti Tattva consists of internal, external and marginal. It's just like a fire which is situated at one place, but its heat, its energy, its glow expands its influence. Now Lord Balaram's appearance. For Lord to come in our heart, purification of heart before advent of Lord Krishna is necessary. The Supreme Personality of Godhead appears in pure devotional service. When a pure devotee always fears material association, his real position of bhakti is manifested, and he naturally becomes uninterested in material enjoyment. After killing of 6 sons, Mata Devaki was very much fearful of Kansa. And Kansa represents material association. So that is why when a pure devotee fears the material association, the heart becomes purified. The 6 sons of Devaki which were killed by Kansa, they represent Kam, Krodh, Lobh, Madh, Moh and Matsarya. So unless all these anarthas are removed from the heart, the advent of Lord cannot happen. So when the 6 sons of Marichi, that means mind, are killed by such fear and one is freed from material contamination, within the womb of Bhakti, the Supreme Personality of Godhead appears. Thus the 7th pregnancy of Devaki signifies the appearance of Supreme Personality of Godhead. The 7th son of Devaki was Lord Balaram, Sankarshan, and he was transferred from the womb of Mother Devaki to Mother Rohini. The Lord declared to Yog Maya, my plenary expansion Anant Shesh is within the womb of Devaki. On account of being forcibly attracted to the womb of Rohini, he will be known as Sankarshan and will be the source of all spiritual power or Bala, by which one can attain the highest bliss of life, which is called Ramana. Therefore, the plenary portion Anant will also be known after his appearance either as Sankarshana or Balaram. Now, Yog Maya naturally could not see how it was possible for her to attract Sankarshan. On Sankarshan's hood, this whole Brahmand is resting. So, naturally, she didn't know how I will transfer him from womb of Devaki to womb of Rohini. Since Lord knows everything, therefore Krishna addressed her as Shubhe, auspicious and send, be blessed, take power from me and you will be able to do it. This signifies that the Lord or the representative of the Lord, our Guru, whenever he gives any order, he gives strength also along with the order so that we can execute that order. Now Balaram is the original spiritual master, he is Adi Guru. It is the power that sustains all the planets which we know as materially, which is known as law of gravity. And he accompanied Krishna as a servitor. As Lakshman, he appeared in Treta Yuga. As Balaram, he appeared in Dwapar Yuga. And as Nityanand, he appeared in Kali Yuga. Now, Lord Balaram's appearance, there is a verse. It is from Mundak Upanishad 3.2.4. Nayamatma balahine na labhyo nacha pramadat tapaso vapya lingat etera rupayera yatate yastu vidvans tasyesha atma vishate brahmadham. Purport: one cannot attain the supreme platform of self-realization without being sufficiently favored by Balaram. Here, Bala does not mean physical strength. One must have spiritual strength infused by Balaram or Sankarshan. Balaram or Sankarshan is the source of spiritual power or the original spiritual master. Therefore, Lord Nityanand Prabhu, who is also incarnation of Balaram, is the original spiritual master. And the spiritual master is the representative of Balaram, the form of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who supplies spiritual strength. In the Chaitanya Charitamrita is confirmed that spiritual master is the manifestation of mercy of Krishna. And Lord Balaram or Anand or Sage sustains all the planets in their different positions, materially known as law of gravitation, actually display of potency of Sankarshan. Now he serves Krishna in all the five rasas. In Shantaras he expands himself as Vrindavan Dham for the Lord to perform his Leela. He also serves the Lord in this mood as his Asan and Padukas. In Dasya Rasa he is messaging the lotus feet of Krishna whenever he is tired. In Sakhya Ras they play together and teases. In Vatsalya Ras, Lord Balaram is also known as Dauji. In Vatsalya Ras, he protects Lord Krishna as Dauji. And in Madhurya Ras, he manifests as Ananga Manjari. As Ananga Manjari, he assists Srimati Radharani and Lord Krishna in their transcendental conjugal pastimes. Ananga Manjari is the younger sister of Radharani. Now these anarthas, the demons which are killed by which are killed by Lord Balaram, they represent the anarthas in our heart. Bhakti Vinod Thakur says, if a devotee cries out humbly and sincerely to Lord Shri Krishna to remove these demonic qualities which are represented by the demons killed by Lord Krishna, then Shri Krishna himself will remove those evils. But the devotees must personally work to drive out the anarthas represented by the demons killed by Lord Balaram. This is the mystery of Raj Bhajan. The aspirant must personally remove the strong impediments with his best care and efforts and by obtaining the mercy of Krishna. If the devotee's humility becomes very deep and intense, Krishna will be merciful. In that case, the feeling of Lord Balaram will arise in his mind and quickly destroy these demonic qualities. Then one will gradually improve his cultivation of bhajan, meaning the hearing, chanting and meditating on the pastimes of Lord Krishna. So in these demons, anarthas, I will take only two. One first is Dhenukasur, which is described in chapter 15 of Krishna book. Dhenukasur represent the anarthas. Anarthas represented by ignorance about the oneness of Krishna, the person and his holy name. It also represents ignorance about one's relationship with Krishna. Loss of knowledge concerning one's spiritual identity. And ass-like neophyte mentality which can't appreciate books or books of previous acharyas and forbid others to read them. So all these anarthas are represented by Dhenukasur, Lord Balaram's killing of Dhenukasur. So we need to clear all these anarthas from our heart before we can seek mercy of Lord Krishna. The second is Pralambasur, which is described in the chapter 18 of Krishna book. Pralambasur represents greed for position, greed that I should be worshipped, and money, greed for money. It also represents desire for honor. I should be honored, everybody should speak highly about me. It also indicates lust, an external show of devotion while maintaining lust for opposite sex. And Pralambasur also represent illicit or unnecessary sex, removing the desire for sexual pleasure and attachment to it. If you remember our 4 regulative principles which have been given by Srila Prabhupada, more or less they are on these lines only. Now we'll discuss about Guru Tattva. Guru Tattva is not different from Krishna or Balaram. I think it is there on this. Vishwanath Chakravarti's Guru Devastakam, there is a verse, Sakshadadharitvena samasta shastrer uktastata bhavatya eva sadbihi kintu prabhorya priya eva tasya vande guroho shri charanarvindam. Guru is a representative of Krishna. The spiritual master is to be honored as much as Supreme Lord. You can see that the bold line. The spiritual master is to be honored as much as the Supreme Lord because he is the most confidential servitor of the Lord. This is acknowledged in all revealed scriptures and followed by all authorities. Therefore, I offer my respectful obeisances unto the lotus feet of such a spiritual master who is a bona fide representative of Sri Hari. In ISKCON, we recognize 2 types of gurus, Diksha Guru and Siksha Guru. And both are representative of Lord Krishna. The Guru's instructions are considered essential for spiritual progress and devotees are encouraged to follow them with faith and devotion. The Guru helps devotees overcome ignorance, purify their consciousness, and ultimately attain liberation from the cycle of birth and death. And in our ISKCON, the position of founder Acharya, Srila Prabhupada, is revered as the ultimate Guru, and his teachings are considered the foundation of the movement. Our philosophy is Achinta Bheda Bhed, simultaneous oneness and difference of the absolute truth and his energies and expansions. Qualitatively, we are equal to the Lord, but quantitatively, it's like a drop in the ocean. A drop of the ocean and the ocean, their qualities are the same, but there is a difference. We are infinitesimal and he is infinite. Only Krishna himself is completely non-different from himself. Now lastly we will discuss about Lord Nityananda. In Chaitanya Charitamrita, Adi Leela chapter 1.5.7, it is said, Sankarshanah karanato yashayi garbhodashayi cha payobhishayi sheshe cha yasya anshakalaha sanitya nandakhaya ramaya sharanam mamastu. May Shri Nityanand Ram be the object of my constant remembrance. Sankarshan, Seshnag and Vishnus who lie on the Karan ocean, Garbha ocean and ocean of milk are his plenary portions and the portions of his plenary portions. He is the most merciful incarnation of Lord Balaram, original spiritual master. Now we will discuss about the pastime of Lord Nityananda, that is deliverance of Jagai and Madhai. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, सुनो सुनो नित्यानंद सुन हरिदास सर्वत्र आमार आज्ञा करो हो प्रचार प्रति घरे घरे गियो कोरो ही भिक्षा बोलो कृष्ण भजो कृष्ण कोरो कृष्ण शिक्षा. One day a terrible event took place. Nityananda and Haridas were walking down Navadip main street, creating blissful atmosphere, when they suddenly came across two fearsome looking men named Jagai and Madhai, the leaders of the local gang. They were heavy drunkards and who feared no sinful act or worldly authorities, and who intimidated the whole town. Though they were Brahmins, they used to drink, eat beef, rob and steal, and even set fire to others' houses. Nityanand was the embodiment of compassion, and his heart was always soaked with pity for those suffering from material miseries. One evening he was walking alone, chanting Krishna's holy name, along the street where Jagai and Madhai had their favorite haunt. Madhai became even angrier and violently threw an empty wine pot made of clay at Nitai. The pot broke against Nitai Chand's forehead and cut it, causing streams of blood to pour down his lotus-like face. Hearing this, Lord Chaitanya came storming onto the scene in the company of his associates. On seeing blood on Nitai's head, he was angry, he was full of rage, and in the spirit of Vishnu called on his Sudarshan Chakra, his discus weapon, in order to punish the wicked wrongdoer. As the shining disc weapon appeared, however, the merciful Nitai fell down on the lotus feet of Mahaprabhu and begged him not to harm the two brothers, but to bestow divine love on them instead. So this is the story of deliverance of Jagai and Madhai. Now last we pray to may Lord Balaram remove all the anarthas and allow us to reach the lotus feet of Shri Shri Radha and Krishna. Hare Krishna. With this I end my presentation of today. Hare Krishna.
Card number 8152. 8152.